Hey there, Internet. Keeve here, and welcome to the Cars and Keeve YouTube channel. In this video, we're going over something that's never been on the channel before, something that has been asked about, suggested about many times. Are you going to try a keg sprayer? Well, this isn't exactly a keg spray. Well, it is. It does both. It can spray directly from the keg, but it also has an electric pump system. This is the Tru Systems. Now, I've known about this for quite some time, but I've always felt like it's just in a price range that's just too far beyond what I would use myself. And that's the main reason I would probably never review it. But Bobby from Detail Oriented YouTube channel reached out to me and said, hey man, I'm buying this keg for my detail business. Would you like to try it out? I'm like, sure. And this isn't something I normally do. I get offered that quite some time, but it just depends on what it is and the person sent it to me. I just don't feel like, I don't want to feel obligated or feel like I have to owe something to somebody. But he says, dude, no strings attached, do whatever you want, say whatever you want. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Now we're going to compare that to the Sunjoe, which is what I currently use to basically spray anything liquid that isn't foam. Kegs are very light, and the feet, this whole area right here is all rubber. Like, it's rubber. Like, that sits real nice. So I hate to call you out, Bobby, on how much you spent on this thing. The $578 price includes the tank and the spray system. Now, at no charge, he changed the nozzle type. This is an angled adjustable sprayer here, which will be really good for rinseless. Now, for the tint PPF guys, they prefer T-Jet nozzles normally. And this is a T-Jet trigger. And T-Jet, I know really well from lawn spraying because people love those tips for spraying chemicals and stuff because it's a very consistent spray nozzle, a very good spray nozzle. Now what he ended up doing is he added the T-Jet nozzle extra. So he has the adjustable nozzle here, which there's different variations. You can get a brass one. You can pay all types of money on this website for options. But he's got the T-Jet there. That's the 0.37 GPM tip right there. It's a very common tip. And a 200 mesh filter. It comes with the swivel. So this is a swiveling trigger, which is nice. Now for $30, you upgraded this to full stainless. Nice. Like, crazy nice. Now base, it would be a poly. So like a polycarbonate type of material. Then you get a 15-foot hose, 20-foot hose, or 25-foot hose. He opted for the 20-foot hose, which is about a $10 or so charge. Yeah, $10 to add on. Now they used to use Flexilla hoses because I saw previous YouTube videos, but now it's called a Tru Flex USA. What a lot of people don't know is Flexilla and Uberflex are pretty much very close to the same thing because Flexilla pays the license patent from a company called Propulse, who has their Uberflex technology. What I'm thinking is Tru Systems is paying the company that manufactures for Flexilla or Flexilla themselves, and they call it the Tru Flex because they are all about branding. They have Tru everywhere. You see it's here. It's on this little rubber tag here. It's here. It's here. It's on the, I mean, it is everywhere. It is etched onto the Quick Connect. Now he opted for $27.50 for the pop and lock, which is basically coming out of their little pump system here. It is a quick connect, an instant push automatic quick connect. And then he added, it was $48 for the battery. And they say this is top of the line, best battery technology out there. Now that comes out to a grand total of about $740. And he didn't even go full out. You could add the brass trigger. You literally can have this PPF'd, you could have this ceramic coated, you could have your logo, all that stuff. Like you could deck it out for, I think I fully optioned it out on the website. It's like $850 or something like that. And which is why I would never buy one, but I for sure will let Bobby swipe that credit card and get one so I can review it. Now it's just a keg. Up here you have your, release. So that way you take this and when you turn a specific direction, because it's not a perfect circle, kind of oval, and you fill that up and you can see the steel, there's a stainless steel tube, down tube that goes from this outlet, perfectly curved to be dead center in the bottom down there. This is the exact same valve I'm using on that Marilex when I added the inflator to it, same one. And then you put that in and then you clamp it down like that. They have a little tag here. It's not just for advertising, Tru Spray Systems. It's always have this PRV opened. And you can see it's closed right here all the way down. Now, if you're using this for compressed air by itself with no spray pump, then you want that to be closed or else you're gonna be losing all of your compression. But if you're running the pump, this needs to be open because you need a little bit of a vent in order for this to work properly. But if you ever do want to use an inflator on it and just use compressed air in this tank, then you would take this little tip off here, and then you would use your air chuck right there. This slides. You want to pull that up, connect it down, and you're hooked up and ready to go. Now that connection right here, that goes to the pouch system here. And I don't know if I'm the biggest fan in the world of how it's all set up. Now the top here, you see the button. There's also Velcro behind it. Open that up, and that's going to go through the top of your tank. But that way, if you have multiple of these tanks, you can swap this back and forth because you don't need multiple of these. Now inside this pouch here, it is available to take out, but they have it set in there where it's not the easiest, but that's the pump. There's a battery and an on-off switch. And this on-off switch supposedly has some kind of a smart board in here, kind of helps with battery usage. Now, under that on-off switch, in this pouch, that's where the battery goes. It goes in like this, snaps in, and that way you can protect it inside. This is supposed to be neoprene, so it should be water resistant. I don't know if it's waterproof or not. If it was, it for sure would be advertised everywhere. You have battery indicator here. I don't want to run it too dry. Here's your sprayer. Very short pull. It is a little tense, but it is a very short pull, so it doesn't create much fatigue at all. You have an auto lockout. Here's just that angled adjustable nozzle, so we'll show you the spray pattern on that. And the hose is ultra flexible. Here's that T-jet nozzle. You can tell on the inside it's metal, it's not plastic. Here's your 200 mesh filter, and this really matters a lot, especially to tint and PPF, slip solutions, tint solutions, all that kind of stuff. That stuff you really want to make sure that you don't have anything in it. I forgot to mention, you really don't even need this cap if you're running the Tru Spray electric system, because you don't need compressed air. It's just sucking out of there, and it needs a vent anyway. So if you want to save this and not have to clamp this down, you really don't even need it. Now here's both systems on the ground. We have the Sunjo here, which is, bigger this way, but not as tall, holds 4 gallons. This is a 5-gallon tank. If I was to buy one of these, I'd probably buy the 2.5 or 3 gallon. Now you have your pouch here with the on-off switch. You have your battery. We have our connections, our hose here. If you'll notice that the Sunjo has not as nice of a hose, obviously, but it's about a 12 to 15 foot hose, pretty decent sized hose. It's pretty flexible. Doesn't have a ton of memory. It does coil back when you need it to make it nice and neat. Have a sprayer here, not as nice as that one. And this one is known to break a little bit, but you also have removable battery just like this does. We have an on-off switch. Now I already have gallons in here. Plus this one has the ability, this has Gardena quick connects, just like this. So they'll pop on and off, and here. So you can change this hose out. You can modify this a good bit. Turn it on, and just long enough to pressurize, and then you get your spray. And that's about the noise level. Now let's turn on the Tru Spray. Much quieter. In order to get the prime, you have to hold the handle down. It won't prime like by itself. You gotta get all the air out. There we go. Yeah, that's way quieter than that is. Listen to the two. Here you go. But it's not loud versus, yeah, that's a big difference there. Yeah, this hose, like, it's got enough heft to where it's gonna be nice and flat. It's not gonna coil up on you once you unravel it. Now, when you put it together, it's gonna wanna coil back to its original form if you do it right. But if you wanna lay it out flat, it's gonna lay out flat. That's a good bit of pressure. It says 90 PSI, which is what the Sunjo is as well. So if you need to knock off some dirt, rinseless wash, something like that, that's really gonna be good for that. Now, does it have an initial pop and then does it wear down as you continue to run it? Let's see. Consistent spray. Wow, that's a tight change on this adjustment knob. Now they have different varieties of adjustment knobs. They had like a brass one and I think another one, but on this one to go from this to full mist is not even a quarter turn. So here we are close. I mean, look at this. There's your stream. You want to go that much? Already half, a little bit more. We're almost at mist. Like, that's not even a quarter adjustment. It's a very small window. But there's your mist. And with rinseless, this is actually pretty good because it gets smaller beads, more coverage because the beads are so small that they don't run off. Especially on a vertical panel. You see on a vertical panel, they're not running off. But if you concentrate too much, they would get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they will want to start to fall off. Now, if you're looking for a bigger droplet size, you adjust out, get something like that. You can go out even more, get something like that. Kind of an in-betweener. I think that right there is really good. That's a really good spray. Like, a really good spray. And like I said, that mist, look how, that is a fine mist. Almost like fog. So here's your adjustment. I'm going to go like this. Yeah. There's some excellent spray patterns from beginning to end. So we just take that nozzle off, and here's your T-Jet assembly, that mesh filter that's in there. And then obviously, just like anything else, you loosen this nut a little bit, and that allows you to turn the nozzle to be the orientation that you would prefer if you like it vertical like this. Now it's the 80-degree nozzle, and what that does is that gives you the ability to basically cover this entire panel and more than this entire panel in one sweep. So that's a very efficient spray for rinseless. But those 10 ppf guys, obviously, you can do something like that, get it covered, you can get in close. When you get in close, you're gonna get a little bit more of a droplet because you're getting closer, there's more concentration. Get really close, you got pressure. That's way good coverage. Look at that spray. And this is like big for if you're a car detailer, like I said, 10 ppf, and you're doing high volume, you know what you're gonna get, and you're just constantly getting your spray. You're getting that car efficiently covered, and you're using the least amount of product you need to get the job done. Really good. I mean, really, I was expecting this though. Like the money, it better be this good, right? Here's my Sunjoe, and I didn't mention it. It's used to be on overstock.com for about 90 bucks, but it's not on overstock.com anymore. I don't know if it's ever gonna go back in stock, but it's on Amazon. I believe it was at Walmart for 120 bucks. If it's at Walmart, I'll leave a link below, but Amazon's about 150, and I don't think they make these anymore. So you're just kind of like at the mercy of the resellers at this point. It's really good for the price, for sure. I mean, it's cheaper than just the keg by itself, and it runs forever, no compressed air. We are primed up. Let's go all the way to stream. There we go. Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you. Is this says it has 90 PSI, but if that's 90 PSI, I don't know what this is. I mean, that doesn't hit pretty good. And I think it's mainly because on this one, the jet stream is it's tighter, it's more precise. They're going to keep moving it in. Man, that's what I love about this, that these different patterns, and it's not a tight pattern. I think it's about a half turn to go from your stream to your mist. Let's keep going. Yeah. Look at that. The bigger droplet and the mist mixed together. Like for rinseless is about where I'm at. I can go over the top of the car. I can get some residual coverage on the sides, so I don't have to be as high up on the windows. I get the side, and I'm pretty much covered very easily and very quickly. And with the 15-foot hose, the Sunjoe's at the back or at the front in the middle of the car, I can basically get the whole car around to the back. I don't have to move the Sunjoe from its location to the back. I can cover the entire car. That depends on the length of your car. If a pickup truck, you're going to have to move it a couple times. Now let's move on to its mist, which is kind of the same as that, and it changes when you get to that mist. There's less water coming out. The Tru spray as well, the sound of the pump changes, but that thing's so quiet you might not even hear it over the spray. But we got the mist. Yeah, that right there is me. That's me right there. And both of them accomplish that. But you can see I'm getting a very similar spray as the Tru spray with the Sunjoe. That mist, kind of the same thing. This one has a much wider mist, not as tight as this one. And when it sprays mist, after it's done, it squirts out a little bit of liquid afterwards. A little bit. This one, off on, off on. Now this one having that same kind of pattern as this one, it's a tighter circle like this one is. And see the difference? I can't tell the difference. Maybe the same PSI, but I think this one is pushing a little more liquid like this. This has a little more flow. This is tighter, more precise, not wasting as much. Yeah, that one's just shooting more liquid. Now, when it comes to the single stream, big difference because the Sunjoe's stream on this is like precise stream. And I don't think it's any more PSI, it's just there's more water in the stream, so it's hitting harder. Versus the Tru Spray's single stream. It's hitting harder. Now let's check how long it lasts. The Sunjoe on the 2 amp hour battery that comes with it lasts about 15 minutes, which isn't long, but it's only a 2 amp hour battery. But you can get a 6 amp hour battery for about 40 or 50 bucks, and that's gonna give you 3 times. It's gonna give you about 45 minutes or so. The Tru Spray, I don't remember what the claim is on this, but what I'm gonna do is that you can have it on the side here. That way you can see the kind of the indicator light a little bit on the camera. I have a brand new battery in here because he bought an extra one. I'm gonna put the trigger lock on this. I'm gonna spray it in here. This is also the best way to prime, so that way you don't waste any liquid or any product. When you're priming the hose, just spray it directly back in here. Like I said, I have the vent off the top. I'm gonna just turn it on and lock it. Here we go. It was about 76 minutes. I actually walked off and because I got tired of waiting. I went ahead and did some other things. I came back and heard it go off, came in here and I went back through the video to see exactly about 76 minutes. So they said it was a top of the line battery and it looks like it is. And Bobby's got 2 of them. So this stuff's gonna last a long time. Well, there you go. And does the Tru System live up to the hype? Absolutely it does. It better for the price. I expect all of this because of the price. That's one of the hard things about buying a more expensive product than reviewing it. Oh, this is awesome. This is great. Well, it's supposed to be because you paid for it. Finding a cheaper product and it doing amazing is like, oh, I found something. There's some value there because I'm getting a lower price, but I'm getting the performance. I may not have the quality, the durability, but I may have found myself a deal. This really isn't meant to rinse stuff off the surface or do anything like that. It is meant to do precise applications of products, but it can be used for other things. It can be used to rinse a little bit off here and there if there's a little bit grit on the surface when you're doing rinseless wash. But the temp PPF guys, obviously they need a very specific tool and that makes sense. Homeowner, I don't know. Like I said, it's an amazing product. If you got expendable income, there you go. Some people buy Jordans, some people buy expensive clothes. You may want a really nice keg sprayer and nobody should fault you for that at all. I myself, I'll go with the Sunjoe and I'll buy myself, an AR630 to go with it or something like that, But it just depends on your personal preference. And plus the best thing about this one is as running a business, you have a battery powered sprayer. If it goes bad, if you have yourself a hose set up already to go with a keg, then you can use it with an air compressor or something to keep going just in case, it fails or if the battery goes. So the one downfall that I think about this product for the amount of money that you spend, it's only got a 6-month warranty on the pump. I can't really say anything about it except for the price for me. And so that's about it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check the links below for anything in the video, and I'll see you in the next video. The biggest thing, it's a little bit cheaper, and that's just, now obviously we have to compare that to something a little bit, comes with it. T-jet nozzles, instead of getting the base T-jet knot, well, I like T-jet because, but there you go. Does the Tru